Welcome to Study Time with Manisha. So today we are going to discuss the novel David Copperfield written by Charles Dickens. David Copperfield is a novel by Charles Dickens, narrated by David Copperfield, detailing his adventures in his journey from infancy to maturity. Charles Dickens was an English writer and social critic. He created some of the world's best known fictional characters and is regarded by many as the greatest novelist of the Victorian era. Let's discuss the important characters of the novel. David Copperfield, Agnes Wickfield, James Steerforth, Clara Peggotty, Little Emily, Miss Betsy Trotwood, Dora Spenlow, Clara Copperfield. David Copperfield is the protagonist and narrator of the novel. David is innocent, trusting, and naive even though he suffers abuse as a child. He is idealistic and impulsive and remains honest and loving. Agnes Wickfield is David's true love and second wife, the daughter of Mr. Wickfield. She suffers patiently through David's other romances, and although she loves David, she is not overcome by jealousy. Agnes always comforts David with kind words and advice when he needs support. James Steerforth, a self-centered villain. From his boyhood, Stratford possesses a restless energy that he can neither satisfy nor divert. He charms both women and men for the feeling of power it gives him. Clara Peggotty is David's nanny and caretaker. Peggotty is gentle and selfless, opening herself and her family to David whenever he is in need. She is faithful to David and his family all her life, never abandoning David, his mother, or Miss Betsy. Little Emily is Peggotty's unfaithful niece who is sweet but also coy and vain. Emily's desire to be a lady causes her to disgrace herself by running away from her family. Miss Betsy Trotwood is David's eccentric, kind-hearted aunt. Although Miss Betsy's intentions are mysterious at the beginning of the novel, her generosity toward David soon becomes clear and she acts as David's second mother. Dora Spenlow is David's first wife and first real love. Dora is foolish and giddy, more interested in playing with her dog, Jip, than in keeping house with David. Clara Copperfield is David's mother. The kind, generous, and good-hearted Clara embodies maternal caring until her
Now
death,
coming to
which
the
occurs
summary of the
early in
novel.
The novel traces the life of David Copperfield from the time of his birth to his mature manhood, when he is married and familiar with the vicissitudes of life. His early years are enjoyable with his mother, who was widowed shortly before his birth, and with her servant Peggotty. Life is happy for David until his mother decides to marry Mr. Murdstone. Afterward, life becomes unbearable for David. He is soon sent to a miserable school where he becomes friendly with James Steerforth, a fellow student. When David's mother dies, he is taken from school and put to work by Mr. Murdstone in a London warehouse. Although David enjoys the company of the impoverished Micawber family with whom he boards, his other associates and work are intolerable, so without money or property he runs away to his Aunt Betsy Trotwood in Dover. Despite a stern exterior, Aunt Betsy treats him well, adopting him and sending him to a good school. While at school, he boards with a Mr. Wickfield and his daughter Agnes. After graduation, David works in the law office of Spenlow, Dickens, and soon falls in love with Mr. Spenlow's daughter Dora. About this time, Emily, the Peggotty's beloved niece, runs off to marry Stratford, whom David had innocently introduced to her while she was engaged to Ham, a nephew of the Peggotties. The family is saddened by this development, but Mr. Peggotty sets out to find her and bring her back. David uses his spare time doing clerical and literary work to help Aunt Betsy, who now finds herself without financial resources. He marries Dora only to find that he has a child wife who knows nothing of housekeeping and cannot accept any responsibility. Meanwhile, Uriah Heep, an humble clerk in Mr. Wickfield's employ, whom David dislikes, has deceitfully worked his way into a partnership aided by Mr. Wickfield's weakness for wine. In addition, David also discovers that his old friend Mr. Micawber has gone to work for Heep. David has remained fond of the Micawbers, and it troubles him that his old friend is working for a scoundrel. Eventually, however, Micawber has a grand moment of glory when he exposes Heap as a fraud, helping to save Mr. Wickfield and restoring same of Aunt Betsy's finances. David's wife Dora becomes ill and dies, and David is troubled until Emily, the Peggotty's niece, returns to her uncle. David has felt guilty for some time for having introduced Emily to Stratford. After a reconciliation is accomplished, Emily, along with some of the Peggotties and the Micawbers, leave for Australia to begin new lives. Before they leave, David witnesses a dramatic shipwreck in which Stratford is killed, as his Ham is attempting to rescue him. Still saddened by the loss of his wife and other events, David goes abroad for 3 years. It is only after he returns that he realizes that Agnes Wickfield has been his true love all along. Their happy marriage takes place at the last. So now we have come to the end of the novel. If you have liked the video, please like, share and subscribe the video. Thank you.